Welcome to another edition of American Soccer Break, live from Las Vegas, where
Las Vegas.
something last night happened. It was an event for sure. Rahi and I were at the game, front and center. Things got a little rowdy there.
A few things happened last night. I mean, what didn't happen last night? It was a monumental for U.S. soccer on a number of levels. But the first level being a fantastic performance against Mexico.
Oh God,
just beautiful on all levels, and it's all on the players. I mean, the players with an interim manager, interim to the interim manager, and took it upon themselves. And they've struggled with their clubs. Christian Pulisic has barely had a minute with Chelsea. What a performance, man. He comes out, he was nearly
so
unplayable, man. Everybody, Dest, who hasn't played a minute, was fantastic. Mckennie dropping balls in, left, right, Yunus Musa, and Timothy Weah, man. I'm running out of superlatives. I can't even speak for Timothy Weah because, I mean, he was fantastic. The entire team took it upon themselves, understanding the situation, understanding the chaos around the administration, and just delivered a fantastic performance. Set the gauntlet down. What a game, Roy.
Yep. It was absolutely phenomenal. I was worried for the first 15 or 20. I will say that. It kind of looked like the typical U.S. performance where you have all these stars on the team, all these creative players, and no one was being creative. No one was acting like a star or a leader. But then something shifted after 15 or 20 minutes. I don't remember the exact moment, but Reyna stepped it up. Timothy Weah, that was art, man. I was watching art on that. Like Pulisic, that run on the oh God, why did he shoot it over? Why did he shoot it over? Because that could have been one of the greatest U.S. goals of the past few years. It was so beautiful, the run. It was very Messi-esque, the way he ran on the wing. It was kind of Christian Bale's goal. Do you remember that goal where he does the loop on the outside? It felt like that.
Christian, you mean Batman?
Yeah,
goal?
That's no, not freaking Batman.
Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale.
Yeah,
I think Roy's still on the moon. He's referring to superhero movies now or something, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
But that was
there were some superheroes out there last night.
There was, and they played like superheroes, man. Dest was,
you know who was fantastic. Dest was awesome, but I want to say Yunus Musa, I thought, had an absolutely fantastic game.
Quietly an excellent game.
Quiet, fantastic game. You know what I mean? So
phenomenal. Chris Richards as well. I thought Chris Richards had, for a guy who hasn't played almost at all over the past year, same goes for Dest, same goes for, a few of the other guys. He had a phenomenal game at the center back. I loved his distribution. I loved him in the air. It was just an all around very, very strong performance, guys. I'm so pleased.
Especially for games that we played against Mexico. I think this is the best performance I've seen us play against Mexico ever.
Yep.
Hands down.
And how about that? How about the 4-2-3-1? We talked about the lineup before. I love the 4-2-3-1. I love having those three attacking midfielders with Weah, Reyna in the middle, Pulisic on the left. They seem to have this incredible understanding with each other and their movement. If you watch their movement, when Weah cuts out or Weah cuts in, Reyna cuts the opposite direction, and it's just flowing and it's beautiful. And we created tons of chances. And I love that top three. But I want to hear from you guys what you thought about our forward situation.
So you're talking about the big man, Mr. Flo Balogun, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. I really do. Coming into a new team he hasn't played with ever before. Watch that. You know that first move you're talking about with Pulisic? Who's the guy who picks up the ball, lays it off to him down the wing so that he can make that run? And by the way, if Christian lays it off, Flo's right there to tap that in. Now, I get it. It's an amazing move, and Christian takes it on himself and could have completed, a fantastic goal. But watch the little things that Flo did. He was cleaner on the ball than we've ever seen anyone in that position. And by the way, remember that red card that comes later on Montes?
Yeah, that was excellent.
All the way back,
that
gets positioned to win that ball back, fighting like that in the 70th minute of the game? And the score at that point was 2-0. I mean, that's dedication to the cause. And I just think his touches on the ball were very clean. Yes, he didn't show up in a moment to score a goal. And that's fine. He's going to have to learn the way these players move. Timothy Weah is a unique player, right? He kind of goes direct. And so you have to learn how he's going to cross, the movement he's going to make. But by the way, on Pulisic's goal, Flo's there. That ball could be played to him too. He puts that in too. So he's there. It's going to come through. I thought he was very clean. He did a lot of things that we haven't seen before in terms of just touching the ball, laying it off. And I feel like you have a different opinion.
Yeah, before you get that, I do want to make a point though, Roy. So I would say this. I would say, was it a perfect performance by him by any means? No, I don't think so. But all the elements I saw were there and far better than anything I've seen from the other strikers in there. I'll tell you what it was. The hold up play, the kind of being able to lay the ball off. That's something that takes these other guys like their best performance ever to come up with a performance like that. I frankly, I thought there was a lot there, and this is his first game with the national team. Remember that, his very first game with his national team. I could just see him building from here.
Sure. And so I respectfully disagree that he had a good game. I didn't see it. I understand some of the holdup was nice. I understand some of his 1-2s were nice, but I thought he was way too quiet, given his reputation, given what he's done in France. He was not doing what we expected of him. Yes, Rocky, you said he tracked back and he caused a red card. That's not what we expect of him. I love that he did it. I love that he showed his drive. We expected a little bit more danger in the attack. We expected him to get at the end of some crosses, to kind of create his own chances, to give that final ball. He did none of that. But to Sahil's point, it is his first game. Shouldn't expect too much more. I'm sure a lot of people came in watching this and came out disappointed with him. To that, I say, first game, it's kind of a complex system. Players have talked about this before. It's hard to integrate yourself into the system. But to say he has had the best performance out of all the forwards we tried out over the past year and a half, I actually prefer one of Sargent's stronger performances, the way he gets involved. I thought Sargent's touches on a good day are better than Balogun's touches yesterday, but I think we have to start him in the final. I think starting Pepe in the final would be a mistake. You got to give this guy time. You got to allow him to integrate himself in the system. So for me, a 5.9 out of 10 for him, but we can't just bench him and put Pepe in the final because one scored and one didn't. That's my view.
Absolutely. I mean, look, we just said this was the best performance against Mexico. The best that we've seen this attacking trio play. By the way, he was playing, right? Flo was a part of that. And he was link-up play, and he was touching it 1-2. So we can't ignore the fact that, yes, this was the best attacking performance we've seen. And yes, Christian scored. Timothy Weah was down the wing. But that doesn't happen without him in the game, right? It's not an accident. I'll concede. Josh Sargent in the World Cup against Iran, fantastic performance. But that's after months with the team. That's after 2 games as well in the World Cup. I mean, this is a different scenario. This is his first game. He's barely met these guys for all of a week. So for him to be able to come in and look not out of place. Remember Alex Sendejas' first game? He looked like he was kind of just not sure what to do. This is a different level player at this moment, and I think to not start him would be an utter mistake.
And he also came in against Mexico. It's a tough game to come against. It's not the easiest game. So that's that. Now, a lot of chaos happened at the game. A lot of red cards, which are going to affect the final. Before moving on, I just want to ask, do you think missing Dest and Mckennie is going to play out in a big way against Canada?
Huge. It's going to be huge. I thought those were 2 of the best players on the field yesterday, besides Christian Pulisic, besides, one could argue Weah, Pulisic were better, but I thought Dest had a phenomenal performance. Yep. Some of those highlights, man, you watch him, the 1-2s, the burning wingers, it was absolutely incredible what he brought. It's going to be a huge difference bringing in an outside back like Scally, who is more defensive minded. We're going to lose that. We're going to lose something very big. Mckennie, he's part of that trio that works so freaking well. He was part of the 2 in the back, Musa and him. I thought they worked incredibly well together. We're going to lose that. It's probably going to be De La Torre now. It's a big miss. It's a big miss that we're going to have to deal with in these next couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't deny that. It's a big miss. I mean, look at goals 2 and 3. Mckennie with the ball over top to Weah for goal 2. The third one is an amazing run by Dest.
God, so good. That pass.
So I 100% agree. These are 2 of our best players. But, you take it, right? like, I think considering the situation, you might say, oh, they need to be smarter. And they do, especially the second one, the Dest one being where it was. But
That
in
was
the
dumb.
grand scheme of the game and the way that things were happening and the way the Mexican players were coming out, they were frustrated. They were kind of lashing out a bit. I don't mind it in the sense of togetherness and camaraderie. And remember the fact that that first red card, Weston McKennie does that after the new guy, Folarin Balogun, gets taken down. So there's some
I like
team
it.
spirit, right? So he's
Yeah.
defending somebody who's just come into the team. So in the long run, I think I'm okay with it. In the short run, sure, it'll be a big miss. But, we have to fill those. We have the players to fill the gaps generally, not to perform at the same level, but to fill the gap. And if Christian plays the way he has been playing, if Timothy Weah does what he can do, and if we get a little elevation from Flo, I think we can do it, right? So I think it's unfortunate. A big miss, yes. I'm okay with it.
All right, so just now moving ahead to the final score predictions. We're playing these guys. They've beat us, the last time they tied us before. We haven't beat these guys in a while. Who wins and what happens?
I've been waiting for this one, honestly. I mean, you talk about Mexico. Yes, that's a big rival, but I've been waiting for this one because I didn't like the way the last qualifier went. I didn't like the way the game before that went. I think there's been some trash talk on both sides, mostly on the Canadian side. I've been kind of waiting for this game, honestly. This is the one I'm hopeful that we can get some revenge. And I think we might. I think we will. I'm going to go 2-1, maybe in extra time. And the winner, to score the winner, is Mr. Folarin Balogun. I hope. That's what I'm looking for here in this game.
Let's go. Okay, so I'm going to burst your guys' bubble right now. The last couple games against Canada, they were both 2-0, weren't they? 2-0 both
2-0 loss and then a 1-1 draw at home.
And the one before that was a 2-0 loss.
Prior to that, we beat them.
Yeah. So Canada's a very good team right now. I think over the past year, they've been the best in the region, minus the World Cup, of course. And I think we're going to go into this game maybe a little bit overconfident because of the way we performed against Mexico. Wait a second. I thought this Mexico team, as well as we played, this Mexico team was the worst I have seen in a long time. They were absolutely terrible across the field. They couldn't possess. They couldn't create chances. They couldn't defend. So I think we're going to go into this game against Canada with the expectation that Mexico's better than Canada. No, this is a strong Canadian team. I think it's going to be 1-1. I hate to say it, but I don't see us winning this game just yet. Without a coach, with two of our most important guys gone, and based on how we've been over the past year, where we cycle a good performance and immediately follow it up with a terrible performance, I think we're due for a so-so performance, and I don't think it'll be enough to beat Canada.
Interesting. So you guys both, one, or you have USA, one has Canada. I think we're going to win. I agree with the 2-1 scoreline. I that's the one I'm going to go with. But I'll tell you where the concern for me is Davies going up against now whoever that right back's going to be. That's the problem point. But we'll see. But regardless, as we move on to the final, we're there. And look, it's gonna be a good day regardless. US Canada, time for a little bit of revenge. Canada boys.
It's time.
I hope so, man. I hope you guys prove me wrong. That's what I'm really, really hoping for. But I'm telling you what I feel right now.
Well, that's what happened. But anyway, still euphoric from last night. And we're gonna come back in just a couple hours because something happened at halftime regarding the U.S. men's national team coach. See you guys in a few. But for now, get ready for the final coming up on Sunday.
We'll celebrate together, Roy.
It'll be a glorious day, my friends.